continuously until somebody comes and fixes it, right? Piece of gravel gets stuck in the water softener. Piston goes to operate, gets jammed, can't go anywhere. Well, that drain's open, so it's going to be flowing water. So you need to come and take a look. Well, cycled and nobody's coming to take a look at it. There's another thing we can do, so I'm going to put this optical eye back in. The first thing you can do, so I'm going to cycle this, I'm going to square this away. I'm doing a full cycle right now. And all I did was I hit the recycle button, I initiated now, and then I'm just hitting the arrow to step it through. This is that, just the time that it took to do that's going to be a big selling point. In comparison to a lot of valves that take minutes and minutes and minutes to cycle, that on its own is going to be a huge benefit. Couple things. I can put it into vacation mode. Okay. Now in vacation mode, it is a suitcase with a little palm tree down here. If I put it into vacation mode, valve won't move. Valve will not move. I can't even cycle it right now. Won't move until it comes out of vacation mode. It's going to come out of vacation mode two different ways. Either a homeowner comes home, hits the vacation mode button again, takes it out. Or, because nobody's going to remember to do that, if the homeowner uses 150 gallons of water, or the business or whatever, as soon as they use 150 gallons of water, it comes out on its own. And when it comes out of vacation mode, it sets itself up to regenerate that night. A month later, a year later, 2 days later, whatever it is, when it comes out of vacation mode, it regenerates automatically that night. So that's one way of preventing it from cycling, right? Because anytime the valve gets stuck, it's because it's when homeowner just walked out the door, going on vacation, 2 weeks, going to be away from home, guaranteed. That's when that piece of gravel is going to get locked in. That's when everything's going to get jammed up. That's just the way it happens. Just like anytime something in the plumbing gives way in pipes or something, it's always just after they did the whole new wood floor and everything, and that's how it happens. That's just the way it works. So that's one way you can stop that, the catastrophic thing from happening. Or there is also in the settings, and I'm getting a little bit crazy here. Woohoo! I can also, there's relays. So there's programmable relays on the board that I can initiate a switch closure. I can use those relays to initiate a solenoid valve to shut down too. So what if you did your continuous flow error and you said, okay, if it flows like 0.3 gallons per minute for 8 hours, I want to bring up an alarm. Something's happening. I can also program this a relay to do a closure when it sees an alarm condition, and then have that hooked up to a valve on the water to shut the water down too. Something you could do. Now I talk about stuff like that. I do classes for these controllers and I talk about stuff like that. I've been out in the field for 13 years or whatever it is. I have yet to see a system out in the field that's been hooked up to any of these programmable relays. Dealers talk about it. They talk about, oh, that's cool. That sounds like something I could really use. And then the aux relay it's a switch. All the relay is it's a solenoid. It flips a switch. It's normally open, which is the off position. There's no connection to it, or there's normally closed. So it switches that armature, right? What does that mean? Okay, so if I bring in power on one arm, this is 110 volts. Okay. And then I've got an out here that goes to something and an out here that goes to something. Well, this down here isn't going to be turned on until it flips. So that's what it's doing. Mm-hmm. I can either hold power on something and break it, or I can turn something on when I turn it on, right? I think, what if I wanted to make this system regenerate? What if I wanted to do a closure to tell this system, you need to regenerate now?
Yeah. You
could do that because you have a closure. You could provide a loop and just close that and use this board. There's also a programmable input-output block where when it sees a switch closure, it will either initiate a regeneration or lock it out. So you could tell, if I have this system sitting here, just kind of on its own, minding its own business, I could have another system send a signal over to tell it when to backwash, whenever I wanted to. It doesn't have to be, these are dry contacts. So you bring in the power that you want to turn a solenoid on with. They work off of, I believe it's like a 5 DC volt solenoid on board. But if you want to turn on an external solenoid, you just bring in the power that, whatever it is, 24 volt, 12 volt, whatever it is, bring it in and then run the line out to what you want to turn on or off.